What's up, guys? Welcome back to Digital Dive In, the proper gaming talk show. It is your boy, Mr. Monkey. With me today, as usual, is SGK.
Kush, what's going on, guys?
There he is. Sorry if his audio is kind of weird. We don't know what's going on, but I'm too lazy to try to figure it out anymore. Anyways, guys,
Yeah.
right now it is Women's History Month, and on Monday it was International Women's Day. So we kind of thought it would be a good idea to go over our favorite female women characters in video games, because still they don't get enough recognition, and there's a lot of them that are just underrated. Now, given a lot of our choices, at least a lot of my choices, are not really the underrated female characters in video games. There's just the female characters that I've played as and I absolutely love, or not so much played as, but have played a game where they're in the game, and I really, 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 really like them as characters. I think they're really, really good characters in general. Julian has some of the more, yes, he has some of the more underrated characters. But yeah. I know what you're thinking. Two guys talking about their favorite female characters. It's probably based on, if they think they're hot or something. No, they're not really. I'm not going to say they're not hot, but they're not. We didn't choose these characters based on their attractiveness, okay? Because that would be super, bad.
Right.
No, we through. Exactly. We chose these characters because, one, they're badass. Two, they're really, really good characters, or they have really, really good character arcs, or they're just integral parts of games that we love. For whatever reason, we love these characters. We have 3 each. We're just going to go through them. I'm going to let Jules go first, so take it away, my dude.
So I think for my first, I'm gonna go from best to least.
Yeah, that's
favorite.
What I'm doing too. I know
So
they're not best to least. It's just,
but like
yeah.
my personal favorite. Yeah, it's not saying that one is more better than the other. My first is gonna be Amicia de Rune. So she's a French character from A Plague's Tale. If you guys don't know what A Plague's Tale is, it's a AA game, not really that well known. It's pretty much in the same genre as
I
Last
think
of
it
Us.
is well known. It just wasn't really, played heavily because it, again, is a AA game, not a AAA title.
I would say it was. I would say it would kind of run in the shadow of Last of Us. It's a really story-driven game. It runs the story of this girl Amicia. She has a sick brother, and there's a plague going on. We don't really know why or what's going on at first. And then pretty much the soldiers and the elite forces come through the village, ransack her land, kill her parents in front of her, and it's just a really traumatic experience. And so she has to quit go from just a quick going from being this princess of this land to being somebody that's to transport her sick brother to somewhere where they may have a cure and may be able to cure the whole plague in general. So she goes from just being this innocent girl to killing her first soldier, having to learn how to fight and be a warrior. It's the evolution of her going from that to where she is by the end of the game. It's just amazing, really powerful.
I saw some of the scenes, or I saw some of the gameplay, and like those battle scenes where, like, because you don't really fight, it's mostly you're sneaking around, evading combat as much as you can. But yeah, these like boss-ish battles, and they look so intense. But the character herself looks. I saw like a broken playthrough of it. I didn't see the whole playthrough. But her character was really, 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 really cool. I like that they went for a like. I like that they built the game. They didn't just make her like a warrior princess type of thing. They made her like, just a old. She was like her brother was the one who was sick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was like almost being like a protective older sister, trying to escape this plague and get to. Just help her brother out.
Is they make a slingshot such a powerful, deadly weapon. It's ridiculous.
David and Goliath, man, like shit.
People with fucking slingshot. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, go for your first.
So my first one, if you know me at all, I've talked about this game and this character non-freaking stop. And no, it's not Cyberpunk. That actually comes later. But no, my number one favorite female character of all time was 100% Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. Her character is so incredible because she has this whole kind of redemption arc where she's essentially exiled from. She has no idea why she's exiled. She just only knew exile her most of her life. And she tries so hard to become accepted into this clan. She trains with her surrogate dad and everything. It's very, I would say, Last of Us reminiscent. It has that feel to it. But Aloy has this just resilient attitude that she will do whatever the hell is necessary to get what she wants. And she does it, and it's awesome. And then right after she gets what she always wanted in life, she's thrown into this whole other role that she did not ask for. She has no idea what the hell she's doing. She's just learning it as she goes. And not to mention she loses her surrogate dad right before this happens. Right after she achieves what she wanted to do, she loses the person who mattered most to her. And after all of that, she still comes up and accepts this new role. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn's been out for a while, but for people who out there, I just don't want to spoil anything. Play the game; it's amazing, first of all. But Aloy is just absolutely an incredible character.
It definitely gives me like an underdog-ish feel. Where
she was.
It reminds me of like Finding Nemo, and it reminds me of characters that don't know anything besides what they're in. Everybody's like, don't go to the outside. Don't go to the outside world. It's dangerous.
She ends up just accepting this role as I forget Seeker, I think Seeker or something like that.
Yeah, Seeker. Yeah.
And just adventuring and making new allies and friends and taking on giant enemies and just becoming an all around badass. Not to mention she finds out that she's a clone. It's just like, what? So her whole sense of identity is just destroyed, and she still soldiers on. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I never finished the game, so I didn't know that.
Yeah,
wow.
It's insane. It's play the game. Everyone should play Horizon Zero Dawn. Second one's coming out. Play the game. It's so good. But anyways, that's my first. What's your second? Go for it.
Second is going to be Kara from Detroit Become Human.
Oh,
Detroit Become Human is probably
Detroit Become Human is an amazing game.
Yes, one of my top 10 favorite games from PS4. All the stories were really powerful, realistic, down to earth, but it was something about Kara. Her number one, her theme music was just amazing.
Oh yeah,
the violin, cool. Just the way it was beautiful. And then her story about saving the child she was taking care of from an abusive father, abusive household, and just trying to give her a better life while also trying to figure out her own sense of humanity and what it means to be alive.
She went against all protocol, broke free of the strings just to save this girl. It's just like, what?
Very heartfelt. I was like, I almost was brought to tears by that. I was like, this game like really hit some heartstrings for me.
Yeah,
so.
she was a really, really good character. I agree.
Just beautiful game in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead for your second.
Detroit Become Human is definitely up there for one of my favorite games of all time. If you like those like playable story games, it is so good, so good. But anyways,
and its replayability, I only went through it once, but there's like many different endings.
Yeah, because there's so many different endings. I tried to get the. I didn't look. This is one of the few games I didn't look up any of the cheats for it. Like, hey, how do you do this to get this ending? Like that's what I did in Cyberpunk, or because I wanted to get that good ending. But for Detroit Become Human, I didn't do that at all. I wanted like the purest experience, and it was oh my god, so good. But yeah, anyways, my second favorite character, female character, is going to be Triss Merigold from the Witcher series. The reason I like Triss over like Yennefer or Ciri has like a lot of bullshit that happens to her, and she's a really, really, really good character. And Yennefer is also a very, very good character. Her backstory isn't really, explained so much in the games as much as it is in the books and the Netflix series. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. But Triss in the games. I feel like her character is a bit deeper than Yennefer in the games, mostly for the fact that she's just loyal to a fault more so than anyone else. Like you have the choice of romance Yennefer or Triss in all the games. Well, not in all the games. In the second game, you're basically with Triss for the majority of the game. The third game, you have a choice between the two. But the fact that even when Geralt doesn't, choose to be with Triss, he chooses Yennefer, if that's the path you took. Triss is still there by your side, 100% all the way, all the time. And that kind of loyalty is just like really, really cool because she's more than just a lover. She's a friend first and a lover
It's like
second.
true love.
Exactly.
Well, it's just like it doesn't matter if her love is requited. It doesn't matter if
Exactly.
like she's always going to be there because she truly cares about that person. So
Exactly.
yeah, I like that. Really respectable.
Not to
Quality.
mention she's an incredibly powerful sorceress. Like she is
Oh yeah, of
badass. She is just cool.
Yeah.
All right. Triss is just an awesome character all around. All right. She's just awesome. But yeah, that's my second. What's your third? What's your last one? If you can choose.
So my third and last is gonna be 2B from Nier Automata. I am a sucker for philosophical characters, philosophical roles, games, and I think this captured me because like when the game opens up and it just says life is meaningless, and I was just like, well, you got
Well,
me
shit.
interested.
Tell me something I didn't know.
She goes on this whole adventure trying to pretty much save the human race, but also trying to figure out what it is to be human. She's a robot. She acknowledges this
Yeah,
that
she's
she's
like
a
an
robot,
android or
but
something, right?
yeah, she's an android.
There's three of them, right?
And she's just there's wait 3 games
No,
or 3 androids.
There's three characters.
Yeah, there's
Three androids.
nine, 2B, 9S, and then I think there's one other character you get to play as after you beat both of those stories.
Gotcha.
Um,
Are they all girls or just 2B?
no, just 2B because 9S is
Ah.
a boy,
Okay.
and then I'm not sure what the other character is. With 2B, it's it's a really interesting story because she's pretty much trying to figure out why she's alive, why she's doing this for humanity, why she's sacrificing herself. And there isn't a clear cut answer, and it's up to you to kind of interpret where how she ends her story because there's multiple endings. So
Interesting.
if you haven't played it, it's very much it's like it's a RPG variation of like I would say Devil May Cry. It's very actiony, but it's also got its story based RPG elements and everything like that. So
Yeah.
if you want a philosophical ride, something that's going to make you think, that's definitely a game to play.
Bet.
Go ahead with yours, and then I'll do my honorable mentions.
Yeah, and I have like one or two honorable mentions as well.
Yeah.
But my third favorite female character, and this is a kind of a new one, and I was trying to see if I could think of another female character in games, but I couldn't really. And this is one of the more recent ones that I played, and she just stuck with me. But it's Pan Am from Cyberpunk 2077. Say what you will about Cyberpunk 2077, but the characters in this game are so well written and so well made. Their character arcs are so good. Like, so good. And Pan Am is one of the more... She's probably one of the better female characters, at least character arcs in general, besides Judy Alvarez. She was like the first character you get, but you can only romance her if you're, a girl, V. But no, Pan Am, by far one of my favorite character arcs in the entire game. Such an awesome character in general. Like she comes up, you meet her when she's like having this family spat with her nomad clan, and she doesn't really know who she is outside of this family. Like each nomad clan is essentially its own little family ecosystem type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of had a falling out with them, and she's just on her own doing stuff, and she's trying to figure out who she is outside of this, even though she does end up going back. And if you play the game, if you play out her her arc and her missions and her ending, you end up being part of her clan as well. But she ends up being part, like a I guess, leader of this entire clan. So she basically works her way from being exiled up to being like the mother of the clan, essentially. And but beyond that, she's not just like a face level character, because like you sit down with her, like when you're interacting with her as V, like she gets into these really deep moments of despair and really deep moments of just anxiety, and she's just unsure about everything. She's scared about what the future holds, about what's going on with V, about what's going on with her own shit. And she doesn't put V above herself. Like, she's like, I love you, you're my guy, but I got my own shit going on. I gotta do this shit on my own, and you're either with me or you're not. And she's super, not to mention, she's incredibly ride or die. Like, she is the most ride or die bae in this game, and it's the best. Like, oh my god. No, but she's just a really, 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 really cool character, because she has just so much depth to her. And I like that. She's, again, not just a warrior princess like you see a lot of female characters being. She's a lot deeper than that. She actually is in touch with her femininity a lot more so than some other characters are.
True.
So that's mine. Let me just give you quickly my honorable mentions really, really quick, and then you can do yours. My biggest honorable mention would be Jessie Fadden from Control. Really, really awesome character. Had a lot of trauma that she overcome, and was, again, thrown into a whole role that she was not expecting and did not know what the hell to do, and became an absolute badass. And then my other favorite character would be Emily Caldwin from Dishonored 2. Pretty much for this, well, not so much for the same reasons. Like, she's out on a mission to save her dad from her bitch of a sister. So, I mean, and she just, again, becomes a badass. She is this royal woman. She's a princess, basically queen. Her people hate her. And so she has to deal with all this bullshit to save her dad, who is being held hostage. If you play the second game, you know the whole story. She's a really, really cool character. But anyways, throw yours out while to close up.
Oh, well.
I can't talk.
Velvet Crow from Tales of Vesperia. So I like this character because she pretty much gets her brother sacrificed in front of her and gets possessed by a demon arm. Then she goes to kill this man Arturius and goes through a whole journey, turmoil, and a lot of bad stuff happens. And she eventually gets to the end. And she's going to have to play to find out what happens.
Fair enough.
So there's the first one. And then the second one, Jody
he got out again.
Yeah.
Beyond Two Souls. Who is the character? Because there's a lot.
Jodie Holmes.
Yeah.
She goes through, once again, a lot of turmoil. She's with the spirit the whole time, and she's just trying to find a life of her own, some peace. And I think that's really redeeming quality.
I made out part of that. Why is it that a lot of the female characters in video games go through a huge traumatic event, and just their whole story arc is them overcoming it and becoming badass? I think that says something about women in video games. Okay, I guess.
Because I think that's what women would like to see instead of just a bunch of huge tits everywhere.
I mean, yeah, for sure. And I also appreciate a lot of games are moving away from boob armor.
Yeah, right?
What are your thoughts about women in video games? Who are your favorite characters that have, come in recent years or forever ago? Let us know. Also, let us know some of your favorite, underrated female characters in video games. Whatever thoughts are, leave them in the description below. If you like this video, please hit that hit that like button. The subscribe is coming. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the share button to, send it out to your friends, family members who you can force to watch this.
Just share it. Don't subscribe. You don't want to see us talk every day, every week. You don't want to see it.
But we're fun. And we're assholes. And their audio doesn't work. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay excellent. And we'll see you in the next dive in. Peace.